And we're back for Stargate Hype right now. And we're gonna go for my second favorite archetype for this box. Originally, this was why I was hyped for the box, but it's actually shifted since the box has been starting to release some of its stuff. But Nova Grapplers are what the topic is for now. So let's get started. We're gonna go from commons up, and then we're gonna end it off with what is confirmed. So, a common is Regia Blacklens. I can't say Blackruger, but that's okay. So he's got counter +1, soul +1. When you're grade 3 gritter with Blau and its card name attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do stand this unit, it gets 2k. Ugh. Bushi, why? The problem that Bushi never understands is that giving cards support means you need to give them good support. And Blaus, you keep on cucking Blaus so hard. I don't understand why. Literally, counter +1, soul +1 is heavy for a cost. 2, getting only +2k, yes, on a Vanguard swing is good, but I really, until that new stride comes out, I can't say much, especially with the new grade 3 that we'll talk about soon. But on the other hand, then there's this card, Extreme Battler Ninjard. Oh my god, this card's insane for a common. It's almost as insane as what we're going to be talking about in the next video for DP, and Gallop for that matter. So his ability is Auto Rearguard Circle. Once a turn, GB1, counter +1. When this unit attacks, if you have a Vanguard with Victor in its card name, you may pay the cost. If you choose one of your other rear guards, stand it. That unit and this unit gain power +2k until end of turn for each face-up card in your G zone. So in the early game, this just kind of replaces Arboreal right off the hop. And then the power part of it makes me want to replace it for Cool Hank. So early, first, yeah, GB, so you can't use this on your grade 3 turn. But once you hit the strides, you can go into this. Early strides, it's not going to do much. But after your first, second, even after your second stride, this thing is going to be swinging for high numbers. Even your other unit is going to be swinging for high numbers. Normally, Nova Grapplers work upwards, where the first couple attacks are 11, 16, maybe 21. Now we're going to be starting to swing right out of the gate. We're going to be swinging 16, then we're going to be swinging 24, 28s, 31s. It's going to be really amazing. It's going to be really good. Especially because of Gallop's new grade 3, so now he can't go and just screw us over as easy as he wants to. But this thing is a common. Oh man, it's crazy. And then we have a new grade 3. This thing is kind of just supposed to look like Mr. Incredible. His ability is quite underwhelming though, sadly, and it is, Vanguard Rearguard Circle. Once a turn, GB1, counter +1, and choose 3 cards from your hand and discard them. When this unit's attack hits a Vanguard, pay the cost if you do stand all of your rear guards. A balanced version of Mr. Incredible, Back in the day, it was the Counter Blast 5, Soul Blast 8. Now it's CB1. Amazing what can happen in 6 years. It's okay. I'm not gonna run it. Because with your strides standing everything, there's no point. Especially when you're standing, you can stand everything, but the discarding 3 cards in hand's a little too expensive in my opinion. It's whatever though. But if you're building a deck off this set alone, you're definitely gonna want to run him because it's something. But his other ability is at least okay. It's once a turn, which is quite weird. but it's Rush, Auto, Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle once a turn. GB1, when this unit is stood from the effect of one of your cards, this unit gains 5k. So, the fact that it's once a turn is really awkward, especially when we have cards like Severed Temper and Sazanda that like get infinite amounts, and then Mayaki, which also gets infinite amounts. You know, you can't expect much from a common, but it's cool to see them bringing back Mr. Incredible now as Dr. Engstrom. And then now we're going on to the single rares. There's not many of these that are out, but the two that are Extreme Battler Jarrowhawk, Hork, and Meteor Kaiser Dog Titan? Dog Antian? Doesn't matter. Both of them are really good. The first one is going to be the Extreme Battler Jarrowhawk, and it is Counter Blast 1, GB1, Rearguard Circle, Counter Blast 1. Put this unit in the soul. At the end of battle, this unit boosted a Rearguard. If you have a Vanguard with the Victor in its card, you pay the cost. If you do, draw a card, stand the Rearguard that was boosted, and it gains 2k. This is a really good card because of the fact that it now, many people are thinking about not running this card. I'm thinking that this card is going to replace Furious Puncher because of the fact that everything is going to be getting power. So you don't need to go and have Furious Puncher giving it. You can have other cards give it. He's really good though because of the fact that as a boosted unit you could have like if you're facing off against Link Joker, you have your other column that's locked. You could still get some stands off because of the fact that you have one column live, and then you boost, swing with boost. The boosted unit stands. The boosted unit could then swing again, and then your Vanguard could swing, possibly restanding that unit again and swinging again to getting our usual 3 attacks a turn. And possibly, you know, you could have some more if you use some other cards, but it's good to see some cards that come out like this. Also, there's one thing that I didn't talk about much, but it's the draw card. You're going to be seeing with a lot of the support. There's the new, it used to be Victor Rush. Now it's Victor OTT, where I have more cards in my hand than Oracle Think Tank does. So, it's going to be a fun ride. Then we come on to the new G Guardian, Meteor Kaiser Dogantian. And finally, oh finally, Nova Grapplers have a 10k shield that isn't off of resources. It's our first form of a consistent 10k shield, which is continuous guard circle. If the number of your rear guards is less than your opponent, this unit gains shield plus 10k. Now that sounds kind of sad and pathetic because of the fact that what if you're facing off against Pale Moon, where they might not have as many as when you attack, or if they're facing off against, I don't know, something that doesn't, they're just whiffing. I'm still happy though, the fact that this is a free 10k, it's huge, because I run so many Cray Elementals in my G zone for G Guardians because of the fact that we can't get 10k. Like, I run Screw, I'm running Ractome for the draw filtration, like all these other cards because Nova Grapplers didn't have a single good G Guardian, and then we finally got it. Is this God status? Is this some defeat flair? No. But you know what? It's progress. I'll take progress. Then, like every other thing in GBT 13, we got a counterlock somehow. And we do it with this. Act G zone, Soul Blast 1, turn it face down. Choose a damage zone or circle and turn it face up. So this is just like the Aquaforce G Guardian, and I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's gonna sound so weird, but I do. Especially with the card we're gonna be talking about later. You're gonna flip this up on first stride, and then you have the ability to swing, hit, smash every turn. And Link Joker won't be able to do anything about it, especially Star Vader. Star Vader is going to be crippled. Well, then again, everything wants to cripple Star Vader, so What can you do? Sorry, Star Vader. It's okay. Then we have the double rares. So this is where we have a high and a low. We'll go for the low first and then end off with a high. The low, which is kind of what made me lose hype for Nova Grapplers, is the new grade 3 Blau. So he's got two abilities. During your turn, when your G unit with Blau and its original card named Stride, already off to a bad start because you want to run most of your Strides as Medios, because you run Favorite Champ Victor, you run Medio Kaiser Victoplasm. So, okay. And then what? Aside from that, you have Sone, which is a ultimate break. So if you're at 3 damage, you can't really use it, unless the GR. Not the GR. Unless we get a double rare or something like that. That's a new Stride for this thing. This thing is gonna suck. But anyway, his on-stride's not even that amazing. I hate to go and crap on cards that much, but when your original G unit with Blount's card named Strides, choose up to one of your Vanguards. No, choose one of your units, my bad. And until end of turn it gains 5k. We've been having cards get this for years. We had a card called, I believe it was called Victbird? Something Bird? I'll have an image up on it right now. But, yeah. His on-stride ability was the same thing. Except you didn't have to have a G with Blau. But it gave the Vanguard 5k. But I mean, like, you can give a rearguard Blau 5k. Meh. It's nothing too spectacular. His other abilities, what's trying to make him sell, but I'm not feeling this one either. Counterblast 1, when your unit with Blau and its original card name rides this unit, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose up to 4 of your Blau units, stand them until end of turn, they get power plus 5k. With Sone, good. This replaces Mond Black Luger, because Mond did the same thing but didn't give power. So now you can do it. Also, you can do it before Limit Break 4. Problem is the fact that if you are desperate and you need to go into some other cards, you can't really use this ability to the full extent. For example, if they go and if you go into Sone, you heal, well, great, you can't use it. And also power plus 5k, unless a lot of the new Blau cards so far, they haven't really had any. There must have been one that I missed. Where? But, I don't find it that good. It's not something spectacular. We had this years ago with Mond. I was expecting a little more out of Bushiroad, but if this is what they want, this is what they get. All I'm gonna say is, low key, not to be, not to throw shade. Razor I should have seen a new Perfect Razor. Just saying. Should have seen like Perfect Razor Extreme. But anyway, now we come to the high of the double rares. Extreme Battler Barayan. Ugh. I'm not very good with names, if you can tell. Sorry about that. So he's the new perfect guard for Victor, at least. And it is Sentinel Continuous. Then it is choose a card from your hand, discard it. When it's placed on Guardian, pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your units with Victor. Not very happy about that because I like to have some of my rear guards protected. But that's okay. Choose one of your Victors and until the end of the battle cannot be hit. Then you may counterblast 1. If you do, draw a card. Oh. So, what's good about this is there's going to be a card we're going to talk about in the next section that works really well with this card because of the fact that you're always going to have 1 counterblast. So, this card basically helps you filter hand for next turn, and it also pays for itself. Now, counterblast 1 to draw a card, I prefer it other than if there's a copy of it. So, you can always, most of the time, you're not going to go and perfect guard 3 times in a game. That usually doesn't happen. Now, does it happen? Definitely from time to time. But most of the time, I only see 1 to 2 perfect guards in an entire game. And in Victor, I usually only see 1, maybe most of the time 0. So to see this and just use countercharge, draw a card, great. Now you can start, and then it opens up your G zone to help with not using Wrecked Home, because now you have this that filters your hand. If you don't like it, you drop the draw trigger, you counterblast 1, draw a new card from the top of your deck. So, is it good? I definitely prefer it. I definitely prefer that card. And then we go into the grade 3s. Not the grade 3s, the triple rares. My god. Ooh. So we have 2 cards, both of them for Victor. Both of them are amazing. First off, we're going to go with the Pokemon himself, Zubat Battler Victor. I must be missing something because I don't know what Zubat means for a level of battle. But, whatever. So, this, I mean, not only does this card look fantastic with the full-on glowing beam of light, stormy light background, the SPs of this are gonna look so good. So good. His flavor text is even better. It screams Kamui. Okay, you know, not to dip the anime in too much, but it's finish it where it will be finished. That's what it is to be a man. Whew. And to top it off, wonderful end of turn and on-stride abilities. The first is the on-stride. Counterblast 1, when your G unit strides, you may pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. This is another reason we have OTT Battler Victor. Then it is choose a card from your hand, call to rearguard circle. That's another part that they've been using nowadays, but this is why you do it. You choose one of your units. Doesn't have to be Vanguard, units. And until end of turn, it gets, when this unit attacks, choose one of your other rearguards, stand it. It doesn't give power like the old one, and then it doesn't stand a column like Excessive, but what Excessive and the old one lacked was being good for what they costed. The old one counterblasted 1 to stand something at 5k. Problem with that is 5k doesn't go that far when you just start losing. Like, you're losing resources in hand. The old one, the biggest downfall is when your main grade 2s, except for Severed Temper, did not have Rush. Cool Hank didn't. Or Braille didn't. You had to bank on Maoyaki giving stuff Rush. So that's where that card fell short. This card, yes, it reverts back to the counterblast usage, but it does everything you need. Draw a card, call something, give something the on attack. Because now your Vanguard doesn't have to swing. Let's say you're pressured, like, because of how much you're drawing off of all these cards, it's possible you could deck out faster. You have 2 cards left in deck, you stride, but you give the on-stride ability to something else. So you have 1 card left in hand, you call out everything you have, and you can go on for it. Now, is that a dumb idea? Yes. Am I a dumb person? Yes. But is this a dumb deck to play and makes me feel great? Yes. So, I love it. Then you have his new end of turn. Whoa. If you thought Luard was rewarding, double rewarding, because at the end of turn, if the number of face-up cards in your damage zone is 1 or less, countercharge 1. If the number of cards in your soul is 1 or less, soul charge 1. If you do both, draw a card. This card rewards you for blowing your load every turn. On your first stride, on stride ability, counterblast 1. Let's say you have 3 damage. Counterblast 1, your, let's say, your ninja common, counterblast another one. There, your counterblast is already secured. Your new GR stride, which we're going to get to shortly, his ability soul blasts. So you can literally soul blast 2 off of his skill, be down to the 1 card in soul. And then at the end of turn, because if you're on stride ability, you're swinging with a stride, you draw 5 cards minimum. Due to the other card that you're probably going to have on the board, you're going to draw another one. You're going to draw 6. And then let's say you have the grade 1 booster behind. You now draw 7. This is amazing. I'm so happy that Nova Grappler's finally got this. But, you know, it doesn't end there. It also goes along with the new card, the new triple rare. So now they're taking a note out of Neonectar's book with Extreme Battler Gol Sha Chi. These Nova Grappler cards are getting weird. So, this card has everything that I wanted in it. Not only does it have resist if I have a Vanguard with Victor continuously, it also gains once a turn, counter blast 1. When this unit attacks, you may choose one of your other rear guards and stand it. Now the biggest thing that people need to note here, this is not GB restricted. You can have a form of rush before you hit strides. This is so good because of the fact that your everything is alive. Well, not everything per se. Most of your other cards are going to bounce at GB, but you can actually get 4 attacks when you're grade 3 and they're grade 2. You don't have to Sea Breeze to punish. You can finally do it when you hit grade 3. I desperately wanted a card like this for a long time. We got one of it in GBT10 that required you to, when this unit stands, if you have a Victor Vanguard, if this unit, during the attack of this unit attacked or boosted, shove into soul, and you stand a unit, you couldn't use it unless you were in stand triggers, which not many players did. So now with this card, it's possible. And with that possibility, it's explosive. And it has resist. Let's go and counter Link Joker some more, shall we? Then we have a rear guard auto rush GB2. So it's kind of like Severed Temper in that case, which is perfectly fine. When this unit is stood, you get 7k. It is once a turn, so it's a little weird. And also the 7k is weird as well, but it's meant to make himself 16. And then most of the stuff gives him gives other cards 5k. Like the card we're about to get into, which is the final card for the set that we know of, which is Winning Champ Victor, because it has to be a winner, because winner, chicken dinner. Now, to be the winner of that chicken dinner, you have to do 2 things. 1, have your GB3 live at all times, even on first stride. How do you do that? Let's get into it. So, the way to win at this chicken dinner is, first off, first skill, not once a turn, Soul Blast 1. So this is where I said before about using the soul. And choose a face down card in your G-zone, turn it face up, which is anything. When your rear guard stands, you may pay the cost if you do. That unit and this unit gain 5k. So this is great. You could sit there and have it to where like you stand like 3 things and you're at GB4 on first stride. Now that does require an expensive amount of soul, but because you're soul charging at the end of turn, it's okay. And to be honest, you're not going to go into the stride all that often. I feel like this is not like the Purge, or in this case, some of the other GRs that have been coming out lately, where they're like mandatory 4 ofs. You can comfortably run this as a 1 or 2 of, which is nice because the G-zone's kind of tight as it is. And then GB3, which you will have live. It's nearly impossible. Every game that I've been playtesting with this thing so far, you always have this live on your first stride. And you usually can win on this first stride. If you go into second stride, then you can probably go into Favorite Champ and win the game. So that's why these things are like crazy good. And so GB3, the Enel Bow, this unit attacked, draw a card. So there's another draw card. And choose one of your opponent's rear guards with the least amount of power and retire it. So it doesn't work like Tri Brute, an old card that came out a long time ago that says every time a unit is stood, counterblast 2, the Vanguard gains 2k, and choose one of your opponent's rear guards with power less than this unit's power, which, let's be real here, everything's less than 26, unless you're no CL and Gavrael where they're beefing up everything. But still, like, 26 is still a high number to get to, and you can retire it. So it's a little bit like it. I definitely like the with the least amount of power, because then Sever Tempers can retire the front row. This can retire starting some of the things in the back row, and then if you don't retire things in the front row, you can just swing at them in the front row. So this now targets stuff in the back row that would be normally pesky and annoying. So, all thumbs up there. And that is all for Nova Grapplers. And the next video, we're going to talk about the last bit, which is going to be Dimensional Police. Whew. The real good stuff. See you for that one. See you later, guys.